Today we're going to make a lemon cranberry breakfast bread, which I use often. We use in our catering.
People order
It's also
that.
good for our brunches
cake
that we do with the kids for whatever occasion. So we're going to start out by zesting our lemon, and we're going to put in two tablespoons of lemon zest and 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So after you've zested the lemon, then we're going to have you juice the lemon.
And if you don't get a whole 2 tablespoons, which I can tell from the size of this lemon, it won't be 2 tablespoons. You just use whatever zest you get from it, right?
And that works out well.
Yeah.
When we're doing, like our lemon 2-layered cakes and cupcakes and things like that, it's kind of an approximate. The more lemon you put in, obviously, the more rich lemony cake or flavor that you're going to have. Okay, while Gary finishes zesting the lemons, I'm going to put in 2/3 cup or about 12 tablespoons of butter.
All right.
And it can be either salted or unsalted butter. Very often I end up using salted butter. And when I do use salted butter, then I add less butter, with whatever the recipe calls for. So it's going to be 1.5 sticks. After Gary gets through zesting the lemon, we're going to cream the butter, lemon zest, and lemon juice in our mixer. Okay. Let's see. Let me grab you a little bowl here.
Yeah, you want a bowl? You got a bowl for the lemon juice? That'd be terrific.
So we have this very fine strainer because sometimes some of the little seeds that are in your lemons are a little bit larger than what you might want to have, when you're making something. So I'm going to add the lemon zest in here. And then we're going to cream it just until the butter is all mixed up well and real creamy. So we have butter. Let's see, we're going to cream the butter. Oh, sugar. Okay, so we got the butter, the sugar, lemon juice, and the peel. So we're going to add 1.5 cups of sugar.
Okay.
And
How
then
much lemon juice
you
did
have
you need?
3 tablespoons.
Probably going to need it.
So do that.
You want it right in the sugar?
Right in the sugar.
All right, let's see what we end up with here from that lemon. There's one.
If we do run out, then we just add a little bit. That's going to be...
Boy, that's pretty close.
Pretty close, that's good.
That's pretty close.
Okay, so...
You could add some out of the bottle if you wanted to, but...
Yep, otherwise that's fine. So I'm going to just use my electric mixer and then just cream that. And while I'm creaming that, you're going to sift
the flour.
Okay, so 3 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder.
Oops.
And about a half teaspoon of salt.
Keeping up my reputation here. How much on the salt? Just put some salt in, right?
Right. About a half a teaspoon of salt. So we'll cream this on a medium speed.
Okay.
Okay, so next we're going to add in 4 eggs, crack them one at a time. So I'll just let you use that little yellow
This
bowl.
here, put the shells in?
Yeah, put the shells in there.
I can do that.
Just do this first one here.
Dump that in.
And then we do it one at a time. So while I mix, then you're going to be doing my eggs for me. You want to have it all incorporated before you add your next egg. All right. You might ask, why do you do that? And I would assume it's
I've
just
stopped asking why.
it's just all in the timing for how much they want you to be mixing it and
Right.
incorporating your ingredients.
I completely understand.
Yeah, I thought you would.
And you crack your eggs in here so you don't get eggshells
Exactly.
into your mix. Ready?
Yes.
Last one.
Yeah, I struggle sometimes when I see you and Matthew cracking like 8 eggs when we're doing an egg bake and wondering, how many shells are going to get into those.
Not a one.
Yeah.
Not if you're good enough. You're really good at what you're doing. Now you want to go third at a time?
The next thing, we're going to do a third of a time. So I really...
Shut this off, or do you put it in while it's going?
I will shut that off.
Let's shut it off.
Okay.
It avoids the powder flying around.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm going to slow that down so I don't have flour all over the place.
Okay. And then
A
half
bit
the
higher.
milk.
Right, then half the milk. So we have 1 cup of milk, so we add half of the milk.
Right. There you go. Boy, I was good on that one.
You were. Okay, then you can add in another.
There we go.
That all mixed in. Okay, next to the milk. Okay.
And the last of the flour. There we go.
Good. And the first time I made these, I was actually looking for some mini breakfast bread recipes.
Right, that's where you found
So this was one of the recipes I used.
But you can make them in the full size
right.
pans as well.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to
So
just...
you just mix it enough,
so it's all mixed.
You don't have timing like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, anything
Nope.
like that.
And then we're just going to get much of this off as we can.
All right.
Use my knife. The one downside of these mixers is you end up having a lot of your lemon peel sticks
to
the beater. Right, so then we just want to get all that out so we don't miss out on any of that flavor or the peel, which is really good. I've noticed that, I think sometimes years ago, if it called for lemon peel in something, and if I didn't have lemons, I would just use the lemon juice, from the bottle. But then I think a lot of your recipes are really missing out on not having the real lemon peel.
The zest is really has the full flavor.
Right. Okay, I think that's pretty good.
That looks pretty clean.
All right.
Now,
so next thing that we're going to do is get that out of the way.
Cranberries and
Okay, so we are going to add to that. You're going to stir that around.
Get the zest mixed in a little bit. Okay.
And then we're going to add 2 cups of craisins. Another thing I used to do was, I think like with cranberries, I used to just kind of make some of these things like at Christmas time, but they're really good all year. And 1 cup of chopped walnuts.
A little free advertising for the
And
cranberry
that's all you have to add to that. I have the convection oven preheating right now at 325. Otherwise, you would bake it at 350. Okay. And as I said, this was meant to be in 4 mini loaf pans, but I'm going to add, usually like if I make minis, 3 minis would equal 1 large standard loaf, okay?
Yep.
So we're going to have 1 standard loaf and then 1 mini.
Oops, I almost lost it. I'm turning it on an angle so I can get this.
And they're going to be
full?
pretty full, probably at least 3/4 full. That looks good.
Does that look okay?
Yep. Okay. If you need it, whoops, a little bit more. And our oven is ready.
Oven's preheated.
And get all of that off. And it looks pretty full, but it will just fill out,
it'll rise a
bake
little bit,
and
won't it?
rise nicely, and it'll just turn out really nice. Okay.
You have one of these made ahead so we can
I
taste
do.
test this?
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay, so I'm just going to finish this off like so. What I also do with these pans now is because sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get your loaf out of the pan after it's baked. So instead of just greasing the pan, I also put a little piece of parchment paper on the bottom. So I grease the pan, then I have parchment paper, just a strip that covers the bottom, and then grease on top.
Crisco on top of that.
And then it's all set to go.
Okay.
And there's, I'm just going to take,
Are you gonna?
I'm just going to take
a
out
little out of there?
one little bit out of there.
Okay.
I don't want it to
I'm
go
gonna wash my
over,
hands before we
but
get
it should be
down.
good. So in your regular oven, you would bake at 350 for about 40 to 45 minutes. And then you can stick a tester in the middle of your bread to make sure that it's done. If it comes out clean, it's done. And very often I will put it on for the 40 minutes. You know, if it says 40 to 45, and then you've got another, 5 minutes if it's not quite done. Okay, so our oven is all set to
Now,
go.
will the little one get done sooner than the big one?
It will,
Okay.
generally. But even in the convection oven, it seems like they still typically, I'll let you put that on,
much time?
still take about the same amount of time. So 40 minutes, we'll start.
But if
Okay.
You cut it in half, right?
Yeah, but even in the convection, it seems like the bread still take longer. So you can start for a half hour maybe.
So let's
Okay?
go 30. Okay.
Start on 30.
Okay.
All right. So now,
That was easy. Now
yeah.
we're going to.
So we're just going to push those dirty dishes aside.
Okay. I'm
And
gonna clean up here a little bit.
Here's a rag you can use.
Okay.
That's good. Now when your bread comes out of the oven, then you're going to have a glaze that you're going to put on top of your bread.
Okay,
So that
yeah.
gives it that nice glazy look. So you can poke holes with a fork, and this is already done.
Finish this one.
It's already finished, and then just to make sure I got the right amount, we're going to mix a 1/4 cup of sugar and a 1/4 cup of lemon juice.
Okay.
And then just very, slowly pour your lemon juice on with a teaspoon
Now, you do
until
that
it's
while
all mixed
hot,
in.
Or
Right.
you let it cool a little bit.
Just let it cool just a little bit, get it out of the pan,
Okay.
and then poke the holes right away.
All right.
And then you can go.
And this
then
one's done already.
This
You
one's
glaze
all
this,
this is
so
all
that-
done
So that glazing's so
and
great.
glazed, right. And what I often do too is I'll have it on my cooling rack, and then I put the cooling rack on top of a cookie sheet
Yeah.
or jelly roll pan.
So that it doesn't drip all over
Right,
the table.
'cause it
drips
will-
onto the-
it will
onto
drip.
the cookie sheet. And you want a couple of plates?
No, I think I can cut it right from here.
Okay.
On these, I really prefer the inside rather than the outside, and it is falling apart, so I think it is quite good. So you can
So no
try.
plates, we're just going to eat it like
We're just going to eat it like this. And here's a piece that fell off of yours.
Thank
So
you.
you can have that. There's another piece that fell off of yours.
I'll take the edges.
Okay,
It's
so
the
let's
best
try
part.
this. Okay. It's
Okay.
our lemon cranberry walnut. The butter really gives it a nice moist flavor. And what I
And the
like to do,
cranberries give it some moisture too.
they
Love
really
those.
do, yeah. And what I like to do at Christmas time too is put the breads in some cello and then curling ribbon, and it makes a nice
yeah.
little gift. So whether it's Christmas time or a birthday or anniversary, you need to take something to a friend if they're inviting you for dinner, or lunch or brunch, whatever. Then it's kind of fun. Then you can just
Yeah.
take a little something and share.
Neat. Good
So
idea.
this is our cranberry, lemon cranberry bread with walnuts in it. And if you didn't like walnuts, you could probably just leave the walnuts out. Again, I think the walnuts just
Yeah, it's
add
a
a
little more
lot,
flavor to it.
to the flavor.
Absolutely.
But we're all set. This also freezes
Okay.
really well,
Good.
so you can make them
Make
ahead
them
and
Right.
right,
Out, and
Yeah.
out as gifts, or eat them yourself.
or eat for yourself or for the kids.
One or the other.
So
Okay.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Cooking with Ruth, and until next time, happy cooking. So it's going to be 1 cup of milk, again.
Okay. Cup of milk.
Don't have to sing song.
No singing,
Okay, so
sorry.
we're in a mixing bowl. Okay, cream the butter, sugar. Somebody needs
like I said,
some
said
direction.
before, I am the soup maker
Okay,
and the troublemaker and the mess maker.
3 tablespoons. One more second here.
I just do what I gotta do. Make things happen. You can always clean up after the disaster is over.